How's it going, folks? Oh, Monsieur Catters. We've got Rose out with me today. We're going to do an impromptu overnighter. I've just literally sort of earlier on come off a night shift, so a few hours kip. Packed up the Steuben, and I've also got the Helikon Tex rig on, which actually fits quite nice with it. And I'm going to do a nice little camp out down by the beach. Well, I've got a toss up between the beach and the little woodland, but I reckon I'll probably go down to the beach. It's not too windy or anything today. Forecast is dry, fingers crossed. So stay tuned for another lovely video. Catch up with you soon. So I've got a couple of miles walk before I get to the beach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick stop, not for a brew or anything like that. I'm literally going to go and collect some ground ivy, and then along the way I'll collect some nettles. Be a nice little forage addition to my sort of vegetarian curry that I'm having some chopped chorizo with. So got to bring my little mesh bag just so that it keeps the food a bit more aerated, but I'm going to use it tonight anyway, so I'm just going to collect some of these ground ivy. I absolutely love this stuff, I really do. It's one of my favourite. I find it's nice to taste. There's certain greens forage stuff that I eat, and I think really some of it I think tastes like stuff that comes out your backside. But not that I've ever tasted stuff that comes out your backside. You get one of that. So yeah, I'm literally just taking the leaves. A couple of the stems are coming out, but on the whole, even when you pull it up, the fragrance of it just smells good. Obviously, you've got to be careful. I mean, like, it's not too bad here because you don't get a lot of people around this bit. So I might be collecting that. There's even some goose grass there. I'll clearly collect some of that up and put that in me. Why not, eh? Add it to the add it into the mix. Some of these nettles are a bit bitten. Some younger sort of petals there. We can add them as well. I'll literally just be chopping this up, boiling it up, and adding it to the mass, to my main food source. Got to get that iron, vitamin D and vitamin E, I believe. I think I just got stung on the finger. I think I'm drawn a little bit more towards the woods. I think because up where I'm going, I mean, it's quite exposed there. There's always a bit of a breeze that comes off the beach. So, I mean, me and Barney camped there a couple of years ago. We managed to find some forage wood and have a little fire going. And that was kind of September, but we're in November now. And I've got quite a bit of mess with me. Or, not mess, I've got quite a lot of bioethanol with me as well for brews and such like, if I can't find any wood, which there is wood around, but you've got to scavenge for it and find it. So I mean, as I say, it's about a 2.5–3 mile walk now. So what I'll do is, well, if it means I'll go and have a look at the beach area, then it means that we might come back and kip in the woodland, who knows. But I want to sort of try and stay by the beach if I like. It'd be nice to do a little bit of filming there as well. Okay. Funny, but sometimes I almost take it for granted that I've got this on my doorstep, you know, all the lakes and such like that are around here. Nothing, you know, nothing that you'd just appreciate what you've got around you, you know. And you know, this is my running route. This is where I like to come out just for a walk, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And it is, as I say, on my doorstep. Literally takes me a couple of minutes to sort of walk out this way, and then I'm just in the nature. There Rosie's tugging away on the old lead. Why do they not think that if they slow down just a tiny bit that they won't be straining? But it's that pack mentality, isn't it? I'm no Barbara Woodhouse, but it just seems to me a little bit of common sense, but they just constantly want to pull on that lead, don't they? So I've just stopped now, got myself a few more nettles, so I think that'll do. So I've got some nettles and ground ivy to add to my curry. I just stuck myself in the process of picking them nettles. Only tingles for a little while though, doesn't it? Obviously you're probably catching it in the mic now, but you can hear that wind. Doesn't matter, it's always get a wind coming off the estuary there. You know, the temperature's starting to drop now. It's getting on to about 3:30 I think, so no worries. So, alright folks, at the beach, oh my little beach, you know what I mean, it's not exactly Barbados, but it's the beach where I can come, you know, and sort of, you know, do a little bit of, you know, sort of the old naked sunbathing, you know, rubbing a bit of the old oil in, you know, and just chilling out in the November British sun. So, yeah, I've just sort of like gathered 3 of those sort of blocks. I've got 3 of them, which is going to be my sort of reflector for the for my stove. Literally, I mean, it's not too bad actually, because where it's in a little bit of an inlet, it's not actually that bad. Even though there's a breeze coming through, it's not as bad. I've been keeping an eye on the weather all week about this one, because I was thinking about making the decision to come down onto the beach and sleep down here. I know when me and Barney came down here that couple of years ago, it was, you know, you've only got to have a, you know, sort of like say 10-mile-an-hour winds, and it's like through here it seems to be a lot you know, a lot faster and really, you know, heavier winds than they are. But yeah, I'm sort of going around and trying to get myself a bit of wood. Let's see if there's any driftwood, but it's very scarce around here. I've got like an old scaffold board that I'm going to cut up, and another bit of wood there. There is some wood, there is like some stray bits of wood over there, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably take a little walk over there and just gather a bit more. So I've got some wood for later, really, just while I'm you know, because it's going to be a long evening. You know, it gets dark around sort of, what, 5 o'clock now. Doesn't get light again till sort of up by 6 in the morning, so I've got a long old time on my own. But I've got a couple of little bottles of bourbon to have a try of. Coming off a night shift, only having a few hours kip. Hopefully that will sort me out as well. And I've got the rest of a book to read as well, which I'm going to be doing in one of my next book recommendations. So get sorted out, so I suppose. I think what I'll do now, I think the priority right now is to get a brew on. Have a brew. Stands to reason, doesn't it? And then I'll get the poncho up. My setup tonight is basically just a poncho. Probably do it like a Plough point kind of configuration, something like that. Bivvy bag. I've got my lightweight snug pack sleeping bag, and then I've also got the Swagman roll. So that should do me tonight, I hope. If it gets any colder, then I've got Rosie to sort of squeeze in with me. So yeah, tell you what, the using the Stoven and that rig was actually quite nice. the Steuben wasn't pushing down on the rig, which is quite nice. So you know, I was able to sort of spread my gear out a little bit and utilise both the setups. I can kind of sort of leave the rucksack here, and then I've still got bits and pieces if I wanted to just go out for a little bimble away from this area, you know, for example, which I won't be. I'm going to be sort of staying pretty local, apart from going over there to have a little look at a bit more wood. But I don't really want to start setting up until it starts getting a little bit dark. There is kind of a footpath over there, so you know, obviously people are sort of looking over and all the rest of it. Some people probably think, I've been asked on the footpath on the way down, oh, are you going fishing, or you know, that sort of thing. But no, just having an overnight camp as it goes. And then they look at you very oddly, because it's like it's November and you shouldn't be camping in November. You should be tucked up in front of the TV watching Keep Up with whoever, or this is whoever, and you know, and dancing, you know, and all that sort of stuff, which if you've ever seen me dance, folks, you wouldn't want to. So yeah, we're going to get a brew on, have a quick brew, warm myself up a little bit, and then start getting set up for getting the poncho up and such like. Bought me a walking pole as well. That's going to be my means of, that's going to be my pole. I've actually bought quite a bit of quite a bit of fuel with me, the bioethanol, simply because of, as I say, if I can't get a lot of materials for burning, you know, I would like to have a little fire later. It'd just be nice. But I've got enough to sort of like supply my stove, supply the burner. I did manage to get myself some coffee sachets. I just quickly had a quick run in the shop and got some coffee bags. These are rich Americanos. So I've got no milk, no sweet stuff. I'll be drinking this stuff jet black. Oh, things I'll do for you people, eh? Well, that certainly smells nice. You may or may not be pleased to know that I've actually got a spoon, canoe spoon. Certainly going to make light better than me, my little twig I had from the last trip out. Oh my god, I'm going to be a proper die-hard coffee drinker here with no sweet stuff in it. I know that's probably blasphemous to some of you. God, I honestly think this coffee's going to do me in. Oh well, bottoms up. Yeah, I mean, I had a cup of coffee with Mr. Dave Fryers when I first got my AeroPress, because I like having honey in it, or a bit of maple syrup and milk and such, like cream or whatever, which is probably blasphemous for all you proper die-hard coffee drinkers. But I actually did have a proper coffee, like, you know, with no, you know, Dave said to me, just try it with nothing, you know, no sweet stuff, no milk, no cream, and I think I said it once before, but it's actually not that bad. It's not as excruciating as you might think it is, you know, and as it goes, that ain't bad really. The only reason again why I didn't bring my AeroPress is because I've kind of got the, because I'm using the Steuben. But believe me, that gets used a lot at home. So it's 15:56, it's almost 4 o'clock. So hour at the most, I suppose, and it'll start getting dark. But it's still quite lovely, it's still really nice. I mean, that temperature's dropping. I mean, even the walk in for me, I mean, I drip with sweat. I don't understand it, I really don't. I'd be useless in the Arctic, I'd imagine, because I'd probably just freeze out. I'd be just like a popsicle, I think, or an icicle or something, because I just really seem to sweat really hell of a lot. But anyway, regardless of that, I'm here now, so it's nice and chilled. Just enjoying that good old coffee. Rose is on high alert, as she always is. And I'll tell you what, that coffee ain't very bad as it is. I was honestly thinking of because have we made the right decision? It's actually quite peaceful really at the moment. Just sitting there sipping the rest of this coffee. Rosie's sitting there always on the alert. Another drop of coffee, I reckon. Stick that in the cup. God, that's banging, that is. I tell you, I'm well impressed. Well, I think it's time to set up the shelter, eh? That wind's dropped right off now. There's no, it's not a breeze at all at the moment. I hope I don't speak too soon, but yeah, time to set up the poncho. So there's a bit of high ground literally just behind me. Loads of sea purse laying around here as well. Obviously stands to reason because we're close to the sort of water. So I'm literally just going to set up over there. Set up, as I say, a lean to a plough point configuration. to how not to do it. God almighty, what the hell's going on? Right, it's a lot of arsing about, obviously, because all I've got to set up is off the walking pole. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to venture off and see if I can find just another piece of wood so I can just stick it up through the hood, just to sort of give it a little bit more space under there. But yeah, I think that will do. Well, I managed to get a bit of oak. There was a damaged branch there, so I managed to get that. So what I'm going to do is obviously cut a section out of that, to obviously stick inside my underneath the poncho, and then the rest will be used for firewood. That tide's coming in quite a bit now as well. Well, it's given the inside a little bit more height now. Unfortunately, you tend to lose a bit of space, but I'm not really that bothered because, I mean, you know, the weather conditions tonight should be okay, so I'm not that fussed. I mean, normally you've got the beauty of using a branch or something like that. I think what's amazing is, like, you know, the bushcraft skills and yada 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 and all the rest of it, but when you're sort of keeping somewhere like this and there's a lack of wood and stuff like that, you have to really sort of, you know, sometimes as much as it all works, you have to just think outside the box a little bit, you know. And I mean, lucky enough, when I went for a little forage round, I found like this bit of wood here. I've got some of the oak, I've got that oak branch now, I've cut it all up, trimmed all the leaves off it and everything else. I mean, I'm going to light the fire when it's dark, you know, I'm not going to light the fire yet. I've got enough fluids, enough meths. I keep saying meths, I've got enough ethanol to burn for me dinner and such like. And so it's practically dark already. Obviously I've got to use the lamp now. Unfortunately, where I live in the UK, I was watching a video first time by Joe Robinet last night while I was at work, and he was on a few days trip out or whatever in a canoe and all the rest of it, and where he goes it was absolutely, you know, pristine, beautiful wilderness. And unfortunately, where I live in the part of the country, can you hear that noise? Now, don't get me wrong, you know, motorbikes or scramblers are all real, you know, people have got the right to sort of like go out and ride on their bikes, but can't they do it in a location where they're organised to do that sort of thing, rather than just coming up into locations where really, you know, I want to just enjoy nature and peace and such like, and I have to put up with that. Maybe it's coming across a bit selfish, but that's kind of how it makes me feel, really. Got no axe, so I'm going to have to batten some of this wood. Oh, fuck. Not liking that, is it? Right. Let's get through that bit. This knife is one of from Ray Mears. It's not like one of the expensive ones. I was a little bit over ambitious there, I think. Trying to split that. It's going. Oh. Oof, that was lucky, wasn't it? Split it through the layers instead. Certainly go through better, wouldn't it? Some nice bits there. Yeah, so that's the little Ray Mears knife. I actually split the tip of it ages ago. Tends to be one of them knives I keep in the shed quite a lot. there, that's why. See, when you bring out other tools that you sort of just sometimes take for granted, when you work with just a knife, you know, balance it on a piece of another piece of wood and so on and so forth. Well, that bit's slight at an angle there, so I can use that as a batten, at least to get the knife out, and I can split it, I suppose, the rest of the way because of that knot that's in the way there. Just take the knife out. Just use that to split it instead. Voila. That. Yeah. Lovely jubbly. Let's get the rest of this cut up. I've gone in a bit too much again. I've got to wash that blade. Bloody hell, hit another knot there. I'll come back when that bike's gone. See how damp it is already. More of the mist sort of resting on the leaves there. I think what I'll do is I'll actually use these as a sort of like just a mattress, really, just to sit on. I'll cut up some of that wood. I've got a bit of a mattress there just to sit on. I was hoping Rosie was going to get on it actually, but she, for some reason, she's not at the moment. I think she's just always on alert. I'll cut some of that sort of the machine wood that I found, and that'll be a starters anyway. Big old fire going. Nothing special tonight, nothing elegant, nothing lovely about it. I've got a bit of birch bark. I think what I might do is just use the old lighter on it. It's getting really damp actually, which is obviously one of those slight issues you have with getting down by the water, especially this time of year, I suppose. So yeah, I think I'll just go with a good old big lighter. Too wrong with it, can you? Really? certainly made it easy, didn't it? What amazes me how everything is so damp. I literally, when I started the fire, yeah, it went sweet, and then you know, it really did just burn the feather curls that I placed on there. Didn't do much else, and I had to end up sort of cutting more and adding more to it. At the moment I'm sort of winning with it, but it's surprising really that when you're, you know, I find the difference really from sort of sleeping down on a location like this to in the woods, and the materials and the like that you've got there, as opposed to what you've got, you know, what you've got to work with at the, you know, somewhere like here, totally slightly different location. You know, it's making the work a little bit more of a challenge. Certainly is. What I'll do is I'm going to use the grill out of the stove, and then what I'll do is I'm going to rest that onto the fire. For what it's worth, as sort of like a little cooking platform. I'll put a little bit more wood on for that to rest on, and that can be my platform. Save me using some of the biethanol. Bag of greens as well, so I'll use that to some ivy and nettles, and that, so I'm just going to cut them up out of it. That can all go in now. Basically going to use all this. Some of that wood's damp, it's proper spitting. So that's stem out, don't need that, so that'll do for that then. Nice bit of chorizo. I've got to take that outer casing off. I couldn't get any with the peppers on it, so I'm going to have to. Sometimes find this a bit fiddly, but hey ho. Keep it out on the fire. Chorizo to the mix. Oh, let's get all Alright, so we'll put that glue on there. set that now, so I've got meatballs for the morning. And for tonight I've got some savoury rice and nice chana masala, plus the nettles and the pepperoni here, chorizo even. I really smell that the ground ivy coming out there. Really has got a lovely smell there. If you ain't tried it, give it a go. It really is quite nice. Obviously a bit of a disclaimer, you know, if you have a bit of a funny turn to it, you can't blame me for it. But for me personally, I find it lovely. I do like it. I mean, the great thing about these pouches is they really don't take a long time to cook. You know, you ain't got, especially with it being a vegetarian type meal anyway. But oh mate, that's gorgeous. Nice curry there, nice. Very nice. So I'll heat that through as well. Give me gloves now just to adjust that grill a bit more because it seems to have popped off the edge there. Cool mate, did I struggle with that fire earlier? One thing you got to do really, I mean, you know, when you're sort of you know, when it's like this, I mean, it's obviously really damp, so obviously everything that I get out, once I've used it, I'll put it away. Everything's at hand. My other gloves are literally just strapped, hooked down here, so I can get to them if I wanted to sort of gather any wood and such like. My leather gloves are just inside the pocket there. So everything's there all the time, so I know where everything is, nothing's getting damp. And just keeping it tidy and organised, because obviously, you know, doing everything in the dark, you know, last thing I want to do is start losing kit or losing something that's obviously quite important. So it just takes a little bit, you know, a little bit more organising, I suppose. Let's have a look at that. Oh mate, it's got a lovely smell out of it. Them nettles as well. This is all chickpea. This is like a chickpea sort of meal. Certainly needs a bit more bit of heat for it. I'm going to add some rice. I'm not going to add the entire bag. There's still quite a lot of food in there as well. I think what I'll do as well, I'll probably add a little drop of water just to help it, just to help slightly with the dilution. It should obviously cook through a little bit better as well. Oh, perhaps she wants to get off the lead. I don't really want to let her off now. There's a lot of dips and troughs and all that sort of stuff around here as well, and the last thing I want to do is to sort of sprain her leg or something, injure herself. So yeah, so there we go. So I'll leave that now. I'll put that back on the fire, on the embers, and let it do its thing. So what I've been doing is I've been keeping just one piece of wood, and I've been using that as a well, I have been using it to sort of get my curls off. I've just moved the pot off the fire just to get a little bit of heat to that. As I say, where the wood's been quite damp, and it was blazing a bit earlier, but obviously I don't want it too blazing when I'm cooking. But obviously then you're striking that balance between the fire going out and or the embers chilling right out, or and then having to start a fire all over again, which I don't really want to do. I mean, I've got the option of using my using my stove, but obviously if I can just save some fuel, I will. This knife could probably do with a strop, actually. Right. Oh, looks just what happened. I was just splitting down a bit of wood, and ching! The blade has snapped. Damn! Well, at least I've got me Ben Alford with me, me Nomad. But I certainly ain't going to be using that for battening any wood. I didn't mind with that one really because it was just a cheapo knife, but you still don't want it to happen. It's a tool that I needed while I was out here. But I can get away with it now, I think. One of them things, isn't it? Well, I just had a taste test, and that's pretty good. So I'm just going to stick it on for another couple of minutes, and I reckon that'll be done. Now let that cool down a minute, and what I need to do now is get that grill out of the fire. So I'm holding the camera in one hand and negotiating the glove with the other, so just let that cool down. What I can do now is just use up some of the rest of the wood that I've got now, just to put on the fire. So there's my dinner, folks. So I've still got a nice fire. Quite hot. That's how it should be. So just getting my pit organised. As I say, I've just got the swag man and one of my lightweight snug pack. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it inside the bivvy bag. I mean, even though that's coated with a DWR sort of repellent, it's still sort of, at least putting it in the bivvy bag will give it some more water protection, moisture protection than just leaving it exposed the way it is. It's quite condensated in there at the moment, which it's bound to be, obviously. Good old faithful trusty pillow. So there's the little head. Fed and watered, just chill out now. It's the first time this fire is actually really kicking out some heat, actually. The guy that Ty, I won't say your full name, but a chap from America, one of my little videos back, Tales from the Shed, I showed a package of a guy who reached out to me via Instagram, been watching my YouTube channel and such, and said that he wanted to send me something, and like I was, you know, obviously you saw the gifts, I was absolutely flabbergasted. But what I've got for tonight, normally, you know, I take beers out with me, but because I was being quite lightweight and everything else, I didn't want to start hauling beers out with me and all the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, I've got a Jim Beam bourbon, and I've also got a cinnamon whiskey as well, a Fireball cinnamon whiskey, which really sounds really like yeah. I'm not really, I did used to drink whiskey some years ago. I mean, I know obviously bourbon's similar, isn't it, I suppose, maybe. And I did used to drink whiskey, you know, I was trialling whiskies out, but what I found was when I drank whiskey, I used to get really drunk. Yeah, it's a funny old thing that, isn't it? So I kind of stopped drinking it really. So I'm going to have two little bottles of it before I go to bed, maybe. I'll see how it goes anyway. I'll have a little taste test. I've got one of those little Kapilka cups. I've had it for quite a while now. So I'm very curious to try this Fireball one. So let's give it a crack. I mean, they're only little bottles actually. Now that don't smell too sad actually. Oh my word, that is, I'll tell you what, that'd be a great drink. It's got like that's sort of like a drink you drink at Christmas. Yeah, you can really taste the cinnamon in that. That is absolutely gorgeous. That is really nice. That's, yeah, that definitely gets a thumbs up, so that's definitely going to go. And let's try a quick sip it, crack the old Jim Beam. And try that. I had an experience many years ago. A friend of my mum's, they had a party, all Irish people, and they were emigrating back out to Ireland, and they had a party, like a party, you know, to see them off and all the rest of it. And me and my sister, in our infinite wisdom, we literally sort of pretty much, well, I don't know, we drank quite a lot of Jack Daniels between us. And albeit we were pretty sort of like on a dance floor, me and my sister were proper rocking it. Now that to me definitely smells like a bourbony whiskey. Well, that's certainly more subtle than I thought it was going to be. I'm sure that one will get drunk as well. But that is absolutely stunning. That was a real good choice, that one. So I'm going to place it in my little cup and have a nice drink. Now the fog's truly in now. So I'll lit me little Yuko candle. Brought everything in out the mist to stop it from getting sort of damp. Not too bad really. I mean, compared to sort of like couple of nights in the week, it's been really cold, like really cold. It's been sort of 0, -1. Where I've been on a night shift, you know, I'm coming out in the morning having to scrape windows. Or not so much in my car because they're heated windscreen, but yeah, so it's not too bad tonight really. About 8 or 9 degrees I think it is, so you know, and that fire's giving off quite a nice bit of heat now. So I've had me 2 little bottles of booze. I'm just going to sit here for a little while and then I'll be retiring to bed. I think I bought a book to read, but I haven't got much of it left to read actually. But yeah, I'll just chill out I think for a little while and then get my head down. I've not had a lot of sleep today, only had a couple of hours coming off a night shift. Right, I've managed to get Rosie in. She's been running around like a lunatic, as she would do. So I'm in my gone bag now, and I'll try and catch up on some well-deserved sleep. So bid you I bid you good night, folks, and see you in the morning. Really foggy as well. It's very, very thick fog here. It's really coming really thick. Obviously there's a lot of condensation on the inside of the poncho as well, but hey ho, you know what I mean. So we'll get some sleep now and hopefully see you tomorrow. Good night. Morning, folks. That weren't a bad little sleep, and considering Rosie was sort of she makes it hard work, she really does, because she wants to just get off the lead all the time and run around and everything else, and just got to be a little bit careful around here really. But it was a very damp. See what's an absolute godsend, right? Obviously I'll get up this morning, everything's really damp, and obviously sand and moisture don't really go together as such, do they? So having something like a mat, doesn't matter what it is. I mean, this is one of Fry's ones, but it could be anything. It could be a bin liner, it could be a flipping beach mat, whatever it is, something that you can keep all the sand off all your off all your stuff. Because I've just spent about the last sort of 5-10 minutes rubbing things down, just sort of wiping things, getting all sand off it. But anyway, stove set up now. In all my splendour, when I got up this morning, everything collapsed on me. It all went mental and I couldn't get it on camera. The camera had run out. I've just put it back on charge. It just, like, you know, but I really wanted to show it. Everything, like, I literally just got out to put my boots on and everything just, the poncho just collapsed in on me. I wasn't laughing like this though, I've got to tell you. I was a bit like, you know, having a little bit of a sort of a rant, but at myself, not, you know, not anyone, no one to blame other than me really. It was just the way I got out of bed, hit the pole, and obviously everything come down on me. But yeah, I'll get a brew on anyway. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but literally sort of somewhere over there. It's either, I don't know, I'm not up on my old birdology, but I don't know if that's an egret or a heron that's sort of wading around in that water there. Obviously looking for a bit of grub. So I was going to have meatballs. If I fancy that for breakfast. So I'll have good old porridge. This one is my good old little mixture of, it's got hemp powder in it, peanut butter powder, raisins, porridge, and some milk powder as well. So I'll be having that. Not only that, I can put some more water on as well and have a brew. So I'll pack the grail with me as well, as I say, just for if I need to get some extra water. Yeah. Quite a nice view this morning, really. Can't sort of argue with that too much, can you? It's quite warm, it's not cold at all. Don't they often say, isn't that an old wives' tale, that a mist is a sign of heat, or fog is a sign of heat? Maybe it is, maybe it ain't, but I've, you know, it's not. I think I've been quite, apart from the dampness, I've been quite sort of blessed, I think, this week, this overnighter. Lovely. Oh. So tucking into my breakfast, I took my top off on that, just this layer, and all of a sudden it sort of like a bit of a breeze coming, and the fog's now returned. It's kind of in and out at the moment. I mean, last night the fog came in really thick, really thick. Surprising, really, when you're in the woods, how much more sheltered you are and protected. Whereas you come to somewhere like this, you know, on a beach, and you're a lot more exposed. Obviously you're a little bit more like I said earlier in the video, you know, you're sort of lack of materials. You know, in the woodlands you can just get a fire going, great, get your shelter up, you've got a nice rigid framework to work from. But coming somewhere like here, as I say, you've got to improvise, you've got to utilise everything that you've got, haven't you? And everything gets covered in sand, you've got to make sure everything's sort of off the ground and all the rest of it. But it's all good fun. Challenging? I don't really think it's a challenge. I think it's just you just kind of just what you do in the woods, and you just flip it over and work it to your advantage when you're out doing something like this. So I'm having one more brew now. I had brekkie, just burning out the last of my fuel in the burner. I'm under the mindset I don't like leaving fuel in the burner and putting the other lid on to keep fuel in it. I like to sort of burn it out completely so it's dry. And the reason being is I had a situation once where some meths, I left some meths in one of those burners, and somehow it had leaked out of the burner, and it got into my oats, and yeah, as you can imagine, methylated spirits in some rolled oats didn't taste too great. So now, you know, from my own sort of mistake, or not a mistake, just a learning curve, I don't leave fuel in them anymore. So it sometimes might seem that I'm wasting fuel, I don't know, but obviously I've tried to empty some of that out and dispense it back into the fuel bottle, and then, as I say, the rest of it now I'll just let burn out. So I'm just, you know, enjoying the brew. The Steuben's pretty packed. I've just got to pack up the rig, and then I'll be making the Right, so I've just got to tidy up my, get rid of my embers and stuff. Part of the old leave no trace, and then take the bimble back. So there's the gear now, all packed up again. Brilliant combo. Really impressed. It's time to pack up and time to load up, even not pack up because I'm already packed. Load up for that little short walk home. So there it is. I did say I was putting the camera away, didn't I? The sun is actually burning away the fog and the mist. So I just thought I had to show you. I'll tell you what, that sun is blazing. It's almost like a, sort of like a mid-spring, or well, it is like a mid-autumn day, I suppose, but it's so warm. It's unbelievable, but it's not. It's just really warm. I think it's kind of unseasonably warm, actually. God, I'm sweating buckets. Right, I'm definitely signing out now, folks. Right, definitely. After this, the camera's not going back on again. All right, so thanks for watching and take care.